Buzz's Retirement Garage. My operational expenses for August. How'd I do? Well, basically break even again. So it was kind of a strange month. Um, we did spend some money in my emergency category, which I'm going to show you at the end, because that number is climbing. But for operational expenses, meaning my Social Security money coming in, me and Mrs. Buzz, versus the things that we basically have to have, like food and electricity and gas and fuel for the car and all those good things. We did okay. Not great, but okay. I was hoping to get more of a savings, but this month wasn't too good. So let's go over it real quick. Property taxes, $462. Even though the tax guy filed my stuff about 27 days ago, the IRS has not put it into their system yet. So I'm kind of worried about that, but I need to file that homestead exemption for Ohio, and I can't do that yet until until the IRS takes a look at that, and I can then submit that to the Cuyahoga County people so that they can reduce this number. House insurance 71, water 21. Now my water bill's weird, so I've already got for next month, so it's up to 35 because basically I'm watering here in August, and now the September bill will show that $35. So you'll see that in September's number because of watering for the garden and stuff like that. We don't water our lawn here. I know a lot of people do, but we don't do it here, and none of the neighbors do. So electricity or natural gas was 60 bucks. My favorite thing, because we use $4 in natural gas. $4. And there's 3 infrastructure costs. One like $5. It comes out to like $10 or $11 just for infrastructure costs. In other words, has nothing to do with gas, has nothing to do with the related the transmission of it. It's just these extras so that they could work on their stuff. Those costs are getting higher and higher, seems like every month. So $4 in gas equates to a $60 bill. That's just crazy. Electricity $149 is going down, and we should see even a pretty massive drop coming up in September, since the temperatures here in Cleveland, Ohio have finally cooled off enough that we don't have to worry about the air conditioning. Now we've turned on our furnace twice already, I think. Because the nights are getting to be what, 50 something. So Universal Life 209, auto insurance 51, using that app from State Farm. I'm pretty good on the app. So yeah, I'm hoping that I can get another, I'm paid through December, so I'm hoping that my January for the next 6 months is going to even be less. And that's going to be a big test for me, because the app has already reduced what we pay every 6 months, and I'm hoping that it's going to reduce it even further. If it doesn't, then I don't need the app. Medicare $370, Plan D or Plan N $172. Now my wife, she just got her Cigna Plan N increase, so she's going up about 12%. I think it was 12.46% or something like that. So she was like $80, and now she's going to be up over $90. So I haven't seen mine yet, but obviously if hers went up 12%, I'm probably looking for something similar, I guess. I don't know, but we'll see. So Plan D, the Cigna, it's actually WellCare Plan D. I just list it because I want you guys to know I have it. And of course it's zero, and we haven't paid for any drugs this year at all. We take about 5 different things between mine and hers, so we have not paid for anything, which is nice. Now I don't know what 2026 is going to bring. I got a feeling that that's going to change. And that's that's not good, but I think that's going to happen. The dental 91, and that's paid off for us this year, and I'll get to that at the end here, because I had to get a couple crowns. Mrs. Buzz hasn't had to have too much done so far this year, but I did get 2 crowns, and it paid for, basically it paid for one of the crowns, so that was pretty good. And my couple people have asked me, hers is through Delta Dental of Ohio. It's okay. Mine is through United Healthcare Dental. It's and it's a little bit cheaper and includes a little bit of vision too. So if you need, just email me and I can forward you the information that I have on that plan. Amazon, $2.58. So I bought a raincoat. Mrs. Buzz bought some stuff because I'm walking the dogs, volunteering at the local animal shelter, and had a monsoon a couple of weeks ago, and I had one that I bought from Costco, just a cheap one. It was on sale. Had it thrown in the car, so I put that on, and the sleeves came up to here on me. So I said, and it was an extra large. I said, Mrs. Buzz, you keep this one. I'll get another one. So that cost me a little bit, and yeah, good rain gear is expensive. I was surprised. So a few other things from Amazon. The T-Mobile, or I should say cable, 136 down from 150. So I went in and they were trying to tell us that they were going to raise. We were at 150, and they were going to raise it even higher. So I went in and tried to negotiate, and they basically said there wasn't much they could do, but they did a little of this and a little bit of that, and I was surprised that the bill came out at 136. So I don't know if that's going to continue on. We'll see next month if it's still 136 or if it was like a one-time thing. Because I don't know what happened to that increase. Did they not give it to me or what? I'm not sure. But anyway, so a little bit of reduction there. That's not bad. 35, the T-Mobile Internet. I actually revised last month's number, which I had 42. That's what I was paying. When I had T-Mobile cell service, I had the 5G T-Mobile Internet, and I was paying $42 because I had the cell service. I switched to Mint Mobile. So they charged me $61 and said that because you switched out, we're charging you 50 something plus taxes and everything. It's going to be $61. Around that time, I got an email from Mint saying, because Mint and T-Mobile are basically the same company, basically said that, hey, we'll give you T-Mobile Internet. Well, I already had it. So anyway, long story short, they charged me for a couple months. I finally got a hold of somebody at T-Mobile who was part of the Mint Mobile team, but he worked at T-Mobile. And he got everything straightened out, and he could only give me so many credits. And so I don't know if this is going to be the standard price. I'm not really sure, or if he just plugged it in at $35. There's no tax on that or anything. It's just 35 bucks, which I thought, wow, that's pretty good. But let's see how long that lasts. So I did revise last month's, and then this month is 35. So that's for the T-Mobile Internet, which is working fairly good. It's not great, but it's okay. For $35, it's great. Uma home phone, we still have that, 18 bucks. Gas for car, only $27. Restaurants, we went out a lot of different places in August. We went to the fair, we ate out there. Of course, anything you buy nowadays is not cheap. So it's expensive. So even fair food was pretty expensive. Did some different things. Went to the Natural History Museum and ate down in Battery Park, if anybody's familiar with that area. In the air show, got to see some of the Thunderbirds flying around because we were right by the shoreway. That was the other day, and that was a good time. So we've spent some money eating out. So $330 for that. And groceries, $813. It's spiking up a little bit from $531, $772, $813, but it's down from our $900 and $1,000 bills. We're trying to keep it, and I'm hoping that in September it stays around the 800 or even less mark. I think we can do it, and we're trying. We're trying to keep it low. Some of this stuff like plastics, and so we didn't do any of that stuff. Home products, 174. I am building steps, but I put that in a separate category, my emergency category. And we'll show you that. Pet products, Tractor Supply had good sale on sunflower seeds, 40-pound bag for 18 bucks. So I got a couple of those. We get litter, we get the, it's actually 509 at Tractor Supply for the pellets, pine pellets, that some of the cats use, which is great versus some of the other litter that we buy, which is Dr. Esley's. And we get that, I forget the name of it. It's Dr. Esley's one of them, No Tracks or something like that. But the pine pellets, if they use that, it's $5 for a huge bag. And actually it was $6 something, and they've actually reduced the price at Tractor Supply for those. So I should stock up on those too. So entertainment was 168. We went to, like I said, we went to the Museum of Natural History. They had a Pink Floyd show in the Dark Side of the Moon in the planetarium. That was really cool. We went to the fair, so we bought the tickets for that. Went to another concert. We've gone a few places here in August, like a lot of you guys do. So that cost us a little bit. Not too bad considering, vacation. Most people are spending thousands of dollars in vacation when they're in vacation mode. Our little tiny vacations have only cost us under 200 bucks, so that's not too bad. Miscellaneous was only $28. The parking at the museum was 15 bucks, so that was part of it. And I pay for the water runoff, and I do have my HP. I have a subscription where I buy the ink, stuff like that. So so $28. So we were up $21. Now where's that number come from? It comes from our $38.76 gross for our 2 Social Security checks, minus what we spend, so $38.55 against $38.76. So we were 21 bucks ahead this month, basically breaking even. Now that included, I didn't write this down, but I did sign up for and I did a video about that, a MasterCard for Sam's Club. I got turned down last year for some reason. I don't know why. My credit score's well over 800, and they turned me down. So I said, well, the heck with it. I don't really care. Well, they made another offer last month or a few weeks ago, $50 credit if you get the card. So I thought, well, why not? Now they did do a hard credit check, so I did lose some points because they did a hard credit check, which I really didn't expect, but that's what they did. But they gave me the $50 credit already. So, because I go to Sam's just about every week, Costco about once a month. So I have both those cards, and I did a video, you can reference that video just not too long ago, about why I'm doing that and the money that I'm getting back from having those 2 cards. So I would have been about 30 bucks under had I not gotten that 50 bucks. So but we're just talking a few cents here and there. So not bad. So over the course of 2025, we're up 664. So again, we're trying to get around 1,000, a little over 1,000 towards the end of the year when we start to do some of our charities and Christmas giving and all that. I know it's going to be at least $1,000 that she'll probably spend somewhere in that neighborhood. So I'm trying to get that number up to $1,000. We only have a few months left, so it's going to be tough to get there. But let's see what happens. Now for the emergencies, I call it emergencies. It's probably not really emergency, so to speak, but things that I have to do. But I have to qualify that because, like for this year, and I've talked about this before, the electric, see if I can get that glare off, was 5,000 bucks. Now, I could have done nothing with the electric. I'm remodeling a bathroom, knob and tube. I could have just threw the walls back up. Nobody'd be the wiser. It's been there since 1963. It'll last another 30 years. It's in good shape. I could have just left it. I could have left everything alone and not spend the 5,000. But when you got the walls open, I couldn't sleep at night if I didn't redo everything. So I called the electricians in, and for $5,000. Now, If I was on a tighter budget, I wouldn't have done that. So that would have been a zero. Now the water heater, $2,000. A lot of people say, do it yourself and all this, but mine was all jacked up. I didn't even have a shut off on the one side. So I wanted them to put a shut off. The chimney thing was all jiggered up wrong. I didn't get any carbon monoxide, but they said that was wrong, and I looked at it and it was wrong. So when I had it installed 20 years ago, I think that my last one lasted such a long time. It was a Bradford White, and it lasted a long time, a couple decades. So I wanted them to do it and do it right and get me a nice tank, and it has a warranty on it. So I was happy with that. So that's $2,000. That's something I had to do. Could I have reduced that cost? Probably, but no. I think I would have spent that money regardless. Attorney fees, we're going to do a video about that at some point when everything gets signed, sealed, and delivered, which there's still some issues out there. So $3,000 for that. Hopefully that's a one-time thing. This has been going on for a couple years, so hopefully this will be taken care of. Steps. Now, I did have that in this budget up here under home, but I took it out because you can build steps out of a couple stringers, wooden stringers, and some boards. So you can spend $100 on steps, all right? And I could have. There are side steps. We have the back, we have the front, and these were just on the side. Did we have to have them? No. Did we have to make them fancy? No. So I could have got away with 150 bucks and made some nice wood steps, no problem. Done that before in my old house. But they decided to go limestone, 6-foot limestone, and doing some cinder blocks, and I bought a saw to cut the blocks, so that was 180 bucks. So I'm all in right now for 650, and that should cover most of it. What I put around the steps will be an added expense, but $650 for that. Now my crowns, $1,220 for two. So good thing with the insurance, because most crowns cost about $1,200–1,300. So basically I got two crowns. Insurance paid for one, and I'm paying for the other ones. But so far $11,870 this year. Last year we were, according to this board, we were down about $892, and we didn't have any major issues. No major issues with the car. None of these things here showed up last year. So hopefully next year it's going to be less. These are one-time. Most of these are one-time things, at least for the next 5 to 10 years. So $11,870 out of savings. Luckily, savings accounts have been doing decent. Stock market's been doing decent. So we're recouping some of that money through the market, etc. So we'll see how things go, but all in all, nice and quiet. $21 ahead. Hopefully September will improve that number and see how it goes. That's where we're at. Buzz's Retirement Garage. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. Take care.